rural areas. Honorable Kajuka Richard Arthur, the Vice Chairperson LC5 Ajumani District, said most of the challenges is due to late markets which give opportunities for the children to misbehave, coupled with the discourse at night because of the parents' negligence.
There is also a challenge in Ukusi Journey market. The market opens at 6 p.m. and then it ends at 11 p.m. and it continues with disco. In Jaipi, there is what they call auction. The auction is the whole day, and at the end, it ends with disco. In Yofua, the market begins late, it ends late, and children come to buy nothing in this market, but rather they always see how they can continue with their affairs. Now, what does that one show to us? It means the parents are not doing their work of controlling the children.
However, Honorable Kajuka Richard calls on the parents to stop sending their children to the markets, but also take extra care of their children as they are the future leaders.
Children are loaded with mangoes for sale. They bring the mangoes for sale in town and they go very far after the sale of the mango, very late. In the process of going back home late, we don't know what happens. In the process of picking the mangoes for sale, children climb the mango tree. At the end, there is the accident. And children, there is the likelihood of children becoming disabled because of the accident falling from the mango tree. I appeal to my dear parents in Ajumani District, West Nile region, Northern Uganda, and the country at large. Your future is your child. And for the child to become your future, the priority is this child must get educated.
Honorable Sensenko Dominic, the chairperson LC3 for Arinyapi sub-county in Ajumani district, said the parents should involve their children in productive activities other than sending them to marketplaces.
So I urge parents to handle our children properly. Do not send them to marketplaces. They should not go for discos, because discos who can even disqualify them in their education. So I urge all these students should at least be engaged in profitable activities, not in that multi-practices.
According to reports from the district, most markets starts at late hours and also end late, particularly past midnight, which is putting the lives of the children at risk. Thus, need to regulate it. Peace Oshaki, Ojima Alan, West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
Welcome back. In other news, as the relationship between host communities and refugees continues to get sour, Lugbarakari, the cultural institution that brings together the different tribes under Lugbara, has asked its subjects to continue to live in harmony with the refugees so as to maintain peace. And this call was made during a community outreach in Ledu Town Council, as Benson Oraku files more on the story.
As the relationship between the host communities and the refugees is diminishing, and at the same time rampant climate change in West Nile region, Lugbarakari together with some district leaders organized gathering in Teregu district at Ledu Town Council on Wednesday, 15th of May 2024 to sensitize the communities on how to create harmony between the host community members and the refugees for the purpose of peace building, and at the same time how to handle rampant climate change. Pharaoh Richard Andama, Minister for Tourism and Wildlife Lugbarakari, says the host communities should stay in harmony with the refugees and handle them like brothers when it comes to land issues.
You see, it is quite very important that when the refugees came here, government, through the local governments, offered them areas for settlement. Now, many of the areas that were given were actually communal lands which people used to use for grazing and for hunting. Now, because of the large number of refugees, land has become scarce. And more so, many of the development partners who used to actually aid the refugees with the supplies of food and other materials has actually run out, I think, because of shortage of resources. We are here trying to share ideas and information as to how to live in harmony with our refugees in West Nile, particularly in Terego and Madi districts.
Peter Gift, Refugee Welfare Councillor for Western Region, says they still continue to encounter some challenges from the host communities.
One of the challenges, landlords sometimes do not respect the agreement that they have. It can be verbally, most times it has been verbally agreement between the landlord and either a refugee who wants a land. And you find that after cultivating, either putting your cassava there, before your cassava yields, you may find that the landlord has already hired that land to someone else. Or sometimes after cultivating your cassava, you may find your cassava is being harvested in the garden without your knowledge. And you don't know who has. Of recent, we have been receiving reports of attempted rapes to our women who are trying to access their fields. Those who have hired land from the host and they are trying to go into the bushes, either 1 or 2 kilometers, and you find men attempt to rape them in the bushes. A number of animals have been stolen from the refugees. Sometimes we even arrest some of these youths. We arrest them and we hand over them to police. And you may find that these are hosting youths.
Martha Tiko, Minister for Land and Environment Lugbarakari, similarly says it does not sound real when host communities get into wrangles with the refugees over land issues and urges them to adjust.
When somebody pays for the land, let him harvest his property before you chase him away. You know, at the moment, the land has become resources of money. Those days people didn't know about the land issue, but the land has become resources of money. But let us forget those issues. We are human beings. If somebody pays the money, let him harvest his things first, and then you need to go and harvest or take them away. It's not good.
Right Honorable Tuku Ismail, Prime Minister Lugbarakari highlights the public on some of the solutions to the challenges the refugees encounter, more especially on the issues of the land.
The challenge of recent has been that the stray animals from the refugee side, when they come to the area of the landlords, these animals cannot be traced easily. In most cases, they disappear in the thin air. For that reason, we formed a committee called the Alliance Committee of 32 members. Half the refugees, that's 16, and half the landlord, to handle this kind of matters. And we have also trained this committee in settling matters using the alternative dispute resolution, leave alone going to the formal courts and so on. So this is very effective and it is happening. With the introduction of CCOs, that is a certificate of customary ownership of land, introduced by ZOA. Before you give a refugee land, whether you rent it out or you give for free, you have to have a certificate, agree on paper to say the duration for you to use my piece of land is 1 year, 2 years, and so on.
Chamba de John Baptist, Assistant Superintendent of Police Teregu District, finally highlights the challenges and possible solutions to them.
We have received some cases, but the challenging part we get in cases of rape that have happened in the refugee communities. Some cases have been reported late, and the victims fail to give a narration of what exactly happened so that we can have a very good basis to initiate investigations. Then some other cases are not reported to police at all. Let them avoid those solitary movements, especially when they are going to fetch water, they are going to fetch firewood. Let them move in groups at least 2 or 3. These youth who are talked about to have been suspected to be the ones promoting this kind of vice and criminality, let us talk to our children, because these are our children.
Uganda is one of the few countries known of providing safe hub for refugees, and Western region alone is having different refugee hubs. Therefore, host communities are asked to be friendly to them. Oraku Benson Pastore, West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
Interestingly, both the top tier of Ugandan football and the top tier of English football, I'm talking about StarTimes Uganda Premier League and English Premier League, they are climaxing over the weekend, and also Leeds, they have already sealed the slot to the finals of the Championship playoffs after thrashing Norwich in yesterday's game. But before we talk about international sports, let's first take a look at what is transpiring in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Like I said before, it's getting interesting and neck to neck and up to the wire, as the show will be coming to an end tomorrow with so many games to be played. And I can confirm to you, all the top 4 teams, they are capable of winning the StarTimes Uganda Premier League title. Right now, the team which is leading the table is the team of Sports Club Villa. The last time they won the competition has already stayed for 19 years. Before we talk much about the log, let's first take a look at the fixtures to be played tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is 18th of May and the year is 2024. Interestingly, Bull, of course, will be finalizing the season with a trip away to Busoga, as Airtel Sitara, newly promoted side into the league, will be staying at home in Hoima as they welcome Gaddafi, and Kasasiro boys will be taking a trip away to Luzira as they take on Maroons, and NEC, of course, will be having a tough encounter up against the current log leaders, that's Sports Club Villa, and for Soltino Bright Stars of Nelson Senkatuka, they'll be traveling away to URA as Vipers will of course be maintaining St. Mary's tended there on ground as they welcome Bara City. And lastly, you will be expecting an encounter between UPDF and the team of Wakiso Giants. As I said, right now, you look at the shape of the table standing, the team which is leading the log is the team called Sports Club Villa with the 54 points. Second on the log is Venoms, that's Vipers with the 53. Third on the log is the team of Bull with the 53. And the team which completes the top 4 is the team of Airtel Sitara. This is now the statistics. Last season, we saw the team of Sports Club Villa losing it in the last game as they were beaten, and we saw Venoms cleansing it in the final day. This time, are they going to do the same mistake, or else it will be the time for them to end the drought of 19 years of not winning the title? Is actually what everyone is waiting to see tomorrow as they take on a tough game up against NEC. And also Vipers, last season we saw them snatching it away from the hands of Jogos in the last game. Are we going to see the same thing repeating itself? Is also what everyone is waiting to see. And at the same time, we never know, it might be the time for a history newly promoted side into the league cleansing the title. Of course, Chitara, that has been performing so brilliantly, still is in the race of winning the title. And at the same time, Bull, a team that comes from Jinja, is also still in the race. And tomorrow, the show will be coming to an end. Like I said, when actually I was giving the highlights of what I am going to give you at the moment, also in Europe, more especially in English Premier League, it will also be coming to an end. But not tomorrow, it will be on Sunday. The battle for the title race is only for the 2 teams, that's the Gunners, and at the same time, Citizens. Right now, the team which is leading the log in English Premier League is the team of Manchester City with 88, followed by Arsenal with 86. But for Manchester City, they will be ending the movie with a game up against West Ham. They will be at home. Meanwhile, for the Gunners, of course, they will also be sitting at Emirates Stadium as they take on the team of Everton. So we are watching the space closing on Sunday, where, of course, English Premier League title will be going. Those ones are not the only games to be played. Still, some teams are fighting for the the European slot, both UEFA Europa League and also Europa Conference. Yesterday I spoke lengthy about it. Of course, I cannot give you. Let's strictly go to the fixtures to be played in the final games of the English Premier League. Like I said before, Arsenal will be finalizing the season with a game up against the Toffees, that's Everton. Meanwhile, Newcastle will be looking for a way to either finish in UEFA Europa League or else in Europa Conference as they take a trip away to Brentford. At Burnley, already relegated Burnley will be sitting at Turf Moor as they welcome Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, they are not yet secure, but 90% they are already very secure. Manchester United, of course, will be taking a trip away to Amex Stadium as they take on Brighton and Hove Albion. For Crystal Palace, they will be staying at Selhurst Park as they welcome Aston Villa, a team that has already secured a place in top 4. That's Aston Villa for you. And Wolves will be finalizing the season with a trip away to Anfield as they take on Liverpool. And of course, Luton Town, already relegated Luton Town, will of course have to play for prestige as they take on Fulham. And West Ham, like I said, will be taking a trip away to Etihad to take on Manchester City. And lastly, also already relegated side, Sheffield United, of course, will be taking on the team of Spurs. Like I said, two teams already been relegated, that's Sheffield United and the team of Burnley. But this is the statistics for Nottingham Forest to survive and also for Luton Town to survive. Luton Town, right now, they're having so many negatives, but the team of Nottingham Forest, they're having fewer negatives compared to the negatives that's on Luton Town. For Luton Town to survive, they will need to beat their opponent 13-0, hoping that Nottingham Forest is beaten. So this is the statistics I was talking about. And lastly, in the second tier championship, a game was also played yesterday night. It was actually the second semi-final between Norwich and the team of Leeds, where we saw Leeds hammer Norwich by 4-0. That means the team of Leeds has already cemented a place in the championship playoffs final, either waiting for the Saints, that's West Bromwich Albion, that's Southampton as West Bromwich Albion, because they are playing it tonight. As I talk right now, the first league ended in a barren draw. Leeds may either take on West Bromwich Albion or else on the team of Southampton. That one brings us to the end of today's edition of NILE CAST Sports News. Of course, every day it's me, Benson Pastore, in front of the camera and also behind NILE CAST Sports News. Let's link up again tomorrow.
Alright, thank you so much, Oraku Benson Pastore, for those sports updates. And I know the sports lovers, definitely they will be able to be part of these games over the weekend. And from me to you, I want to wish you a very good evening and a happy weekend as well. And then maybe to the teams, to the supporters of these teams, we also wish you the very best, as that does bring us to the end of today's NILE CAST News Bulletin. And I've been Farish Majid. Have yourselves a good evening.